But all right, we're live. We're gonna go. We're gonna jump in. Welcome everybody to another game streamed on Monday night with SirLucien on SirLucien Gaming Channel. We are about to jump back into our 5th edition Seeking Revonar mega campaign. This is our Monday night crew going out. Already another group is formed to go back into the woods on Thursday also. So if you really like this one, you might want to check in on Thursday and check that one out. And then if you miss any of them, you can check them out, the VODs in Twitch, or you can go to YouTube, and I will be placing them out on YouTube. So you can play this game also if you, towards the end, I will tell everybody about how they can join up on this game. Join our Discord, make a character, and then go ahead and play in this game. So stay tuned, watch throughout the whole session, and then maybe you also can play in Seeking Revonar. All right, so we might have a couple players jump in. One of them, power went out just as we started, and there's been a lot of storms going through the Midwest here. It could happen to me too. There could be more storms coming. We don't know. We'll play as long as we can on Labor Day. Hopefully everybody's having a good holiday. And if you're in a different country, hopefully you have a good time on your Labor Day or whatever holiday you might have coming up or now. Okay, we got our players back. We're going to jump right in and get to the adventuring. So this party, a recap from your last adventure, you had decided to check out the orc camp, the abandoned orc camp. Some scouts said there were some activity up there, and you decided that you would go up and take a look, and you found some harpies who seemed to be scavenging from the camp there. No signs of any orcs. Looks like they are still gone or have been gone for many years. You've only heard some rumors about that there were orcs even there, and even when you were there, you wouldn't even known if there were any orcs or not. It just comes from the rumors, though there is a camp that still sits up in the mountains to the north. You made it back. You were in town. You spent probably about 5 or 6 days in town before getting ready for your next expedition, which is you've chosen to head west out towards the rumor of the Darklings have kind of bumped into or are currently fighting some type of evil out to the west, and you've decided that you might go out there and take a look at that to see if there's any glory to be had. And so we're going to start in town. We're in Port Bastion. Let's go ahead and bring up our map so some of our people can see it that are in chat. So we'll jump over and transition. There we go. And now we'll bring our map up, which is in your handout. All right. I am going to make a keyed one of this eventually where you have the numbers and shows you everything that's actually there, where the marketplace and all that stuff is. Just haven't got to it quite yet. So, starting our adventure out, we may or may not be somebody down at this point, but we'll see if he gets back on or not. So we'll start the evening. It's been about 4 or 5 days. You must spend 2 silver per day to stay at the inn. So let's say it's been 5 days. So you guys will be spending 10 silver for your hanging out in Port Bastion. So you can go ahead and mark that off. Oh, go ahead.
Hey, I'm in on my phone. I also got Roll20 up. Is it okay if I still play?
Yeah, that'd be fine.
Okay.
So everybody, go ahead and spend your 10 silver for staying in Port Bastion. Is there any shopping that anybody needed to do during those 5 days before your next expedition hits? This is going to happen in the 3rd week of the campaign. Just remember that 1 week of real time is 2 weeks of game time. So when we did last week, that was about 2 weeks of time, and now we're on to our 2nd week, and it's going to be another 2 weeks of time.
Yeah, I bought 2 potions, heal potions.
Okay. Yep. You can go ahead and mark those off on your, and make sure you mark on your character sheet where you're storing them. Are they inside your pack? Yeah, or on your belt, because that'll make a difference.
One's on my belt and one's in my pack.
Okay. Let's do this. Let's adjust your volume a little. There we go. Good. Okay. Keep an eye on chat.
Spend my downtime doing good deeds down at the Temple of Helm in town. And
Okay.
I'll leave a donation of maybe 10 gold on my way out.
Awesome. Go ahead and mark that down.
Sam is just kind of checking the place out, looking for any place where he can do more sword training, sword and shield training, fighting training.
Okay.
Alberic spends a great deal of his time trying to get Skrull drunk. He's completely enamored with the idea of the Birdman, and also is unused to the pleasures of the prime material plane, and so has taken to trying to pal around with him and feed him alcohol.
Nice.
It's hard to drink out of mugs as a bird, but I'm sure we'd figure it out.
Get a straw.
Along with that, he has taken to walking the edges of Port Bastion to where the outlying farming areas are, just to kind of get a feel of it, because already the idea of squatting in this inn is distasteful to him. He wishes for a place of his own.
Cool. All right. So on the morning you decide you're going to leave, one of the things I had forgotten to do with you guys last time, but I'll do it this time. Let's go over... Yeah, okay. So, all right, so everybody's good. Now, did anybody have to repair any armor? Did anybody have to fix any of their swords? I don't recall if anybody hit ones or crits hit them. I think maybe it was only Rom's character, but he got new armor. So you've got that written down too, right? For Dragar?
Yeah, for my new studded leather.
Yeah. Okay, cool. So you have your new studded leather that you got. Eventually, also, there will be chances for you to do crafting and that kind of stuff, but I really want to get the campaign going and get all of those rules hammered out before I dive into that next little piece. The magic shop is full of different types of magics and items. What you guys have realized is it's all super expensive. So like even like the first level kind of stuff is 1,000 gold. If you're looking at weapons or things that have some type of enchantment on it, they can range anywhere from 1,500 all the way up to 20, 30,000 gold pieces. So even though you may have perused through the shop, the magic shop, which is let me go to that name so you guys have it. As I believe it is Belshazzar's Emporium. Eventually, as you gain more money and you bring stuff back and you want to sell it, he'll buy it and then resell it. It's a place that you can go ahead and pick up a lot of different magic trinkets and stuff like that. All right, so all shopping is done. We're good. We don't have to worry about that anymore. So on the morning about we're about to leave, you are come down from the inn. Who would be the first one up and at the table having their breakfast? Who's the early riser of the group?
That'll be me.
Okay. So Dragar's down at the table, and then as within just moments, each of the other group begin to descend, and it's probably just before sunrise at this point. And there's already food being cooked. There's already some type of like porridge that's being handed out to those that come down. You can tell that the night before looked pretty rowdy. There's still a lot of cleaning going on. There was a lot of partying happening. And over the last few days, you've heard the rumors of one of the other adventuring groups had went out and dealt with some crazy evilness happening in the silver mine with the dwarves, but it sounds like it's in hand and it has been taken care of, and there was quite the party that got thrown the night before, and you can see still some of the remnants of that as they're cleaning that stuff up. But you guys have your gear in hand, you have your packs on, you have all of your food and provisions restocked, you have your water skins are filled, weapons are sharpened, armor looks pristine and cleaned. Boots have been polished. You are ready to go, and you are finishing up with eating your meal as you're about to head out. And then what has been tradition each time, and we'll do it again even this time, what's been tradition for when Rula, who seems to be the person who kind of keeps tabs on all of the adventuring groups, she always seems to know when an expedition is going out. She always seems to know where an expedition is going, and she always seems to be the first one to know what had happened. And she's the one that pays for information and tries to encourage that kind of thing. And as she sees each one of you stand as you finish your porridge, she yells out to all the rest of the group that are in. So there's adventurers here and there. There's some early risers, and there's some half-awake drunks that have been drinking the night away. And we hear Rula shout out, who is a half-orc, and she's like, "All right, you mongrels," shouts the woman who has described you as Rula, and you've seen her as the half-orc proprietor. "Raise your drink for those who never return in a moment of silence until all hands are held high in homage." And you've seen this before. As you guys are walking to the door, everybody in the room begins to raise a glass, and it's filled. And if anybody didn't have a glass in front of them, several of the servers have trays of drink mugs on them, and they're running around quickly before you reach the door to hand everybody else a mug. And by the time you reach the door and you're opening it, you can see that everybody's hand is raised with a full mug. And then Rula continues to speak. So, into the silence while staring at the ceiling. And she says, "O gods and goddesses, both new and old, protect the fallen, guide the living, smite those sorry asses who are too afraid to face the beast." And when everybody in the tavern hears that last part, the whole tavern shouts "the beast" really loud. And as you guys go out the door, you shout "the beast" with it. And it's happened with other groups that have gone out. You've seen this happen a few times, and it seems to be the tradition of the Lovely Coin to send off and honor those who risk their lives out in the jungles and forests of Revonar. You quickly go out the north gate, and you see as you guys are walking up, it's kind of one of those mornings where there's a mist that's come in over the bay, and you can't really see out to where the ships are. It's very wet and damp, and by the time you get to the gate, most of your clothing is already soaked from dew. The sun is just not even quite up yet, but the sky is lighted enough that you can see. And then you go out the front, or the northeast gate. As it opens, you go out as shadowy figures, and then it closes behind you with a thump. And once again, you are out in the wildlands of Revonar, passing farm and ranch as you go. Quickly, the road runs out. You begin to head your way west, and this time you're kind of taking the similar route that you did before. I think what we'll do is we'll go over and take a look at our map for our audience here real quick.
Here we go again, brothers.
Aye, indeed. Here we are again, in the belly of the beast.
The beast.
All right, we'll show the bigger size there. So you're basically going to be heading north, a little bit under where you went for the Orcish camp. So you'll kind of pass by that. You'll pass by something that's known as the Camping Cave. This was an area that a lot of scouts will use if they're out scouting out to the west. This is like a stopover spot you've heard of. It's a landmark. It's marked pretty well on most people's maps at this point. But you'll be continuing further west. You're going to pass north of where the Darkling village is, and then head to the runes that seem to be marked on from the table that you had looked at to the northwest. Rula had arranged for a Darkling scout to meet with you somewhere north of that mountain to that you would have somebody to ask a few more questions of, or at least help guide you towards the right way, which is towards where they think this evil is coming from. So within a 2 days' time, maybe 2.5 days, you should be able to meet up with one of the Darkling scouts and be able to talk to them. But while we're doing that, let us go ahead and start our actual rolling of our adventure here. So first things first, let's start with our navigation roll. Who has decided to be the navigator? Who's leading us into these woods, through these mountains, and into the deep valleys?
I believe I was navigator last week. I will pass that duty on to somebody.
Okay.
Because I got us lost.
I'll be the navigator.
Dragar's doing a lot of rolling. Okay, so that will mean Albrix will be our navigator. So go ahead and roll me a survival check. 15's pretty good, but not quite good enough. So you're going to get lost a little bit. You'll have to backtrack and you'll come around, but nothing too bad. It's just going to take an extra couple days. The trip you were expecting at this point, you thought it would take, when you were in your planning, about 4 days out, 4 days back. In actuality, it's probably going to take about 5 days out, 5 days back, because you guys will get a little lost here or there. And this is like some uncharted territory for you. You guys have never been out this far. The map that's drawn on in the lovely coin is pretty good, but it's not like a satellite image or anything. So it is easy to find the wrong switchback, follow the wrong trail, and then come back around and realize you've been going north and you need to be going west, that kind of thing. But other than that, it's just going to add a little bit of extra time, but you passed it enough, you're not going to get lost. You'll get there eventually. On our way, let's also do our foraging roll. So who's going to be our forager this time around?
I'll do it.
All right, so Timur is going to forage. Go ahead and give me a nature check. 16 is a success. Well done. Let me go to the correct thing here.
I could have sworn that we were supposed to go left at the tree, but there are more trees than I had anticipated.
All right, Timur, give me a roll 1d20. 13, and then a 2 separate rolls. I need of 1d100, but roll it twice. So a 95 and an 87. So, all right. Okay. So you will find a, again, this looks like I think it is 13 is a poultice. Okay. So there is a tree bark that you find from the, it's called Winter Sorrel, Sorrel. And it's kind of like a white, flaky kind of tree. If you were thinking of our time, kind of maybe like a birch, almost similar to that. And it kind of shags off these trees. You don't see them very often, but every now and then you were able to see one and pass one by, and you're able to collect some of the bark and throw it into your pack. And what they use this for is it's ground up and used in poultices to help with healing cuts, scratches, and open wounds and sores and things like that. So you can bring that back and you can sell it.
I think the Church of Helm would greatly appreciate.
Definitely. They would pay you for it, or the apothecary will pay you for it. And let's get back to our notes. Sure.
Having herbalism, would it be something that I could do something with?
I think you could learn it, but right now you have herbalism from the Sword Coast. What you don't have much of is herbalism from the continent of Revonar, which is very different.
Worse yet, I have herbalism from Limbo.
Worse yet, yeah. Okay, so a success for that. So you can mark down that you were able to gather enough that if you wish to sell it, I mean, you could keep it, but if you wish to sell it, they would pay you 20 gold for the amount that you were able to gather. And typically, it's not just that's the only thing that it's used. It's used in a poultice, so that's used in with another number of ingredients to make the poultice. But it is an important part of it.
Got it.
All right. Cool. We can close that. Also, let me write down in the notes just so I remember. So we failed, but not poorly. We passed. All right. Who is going to be our looking out for danger as we travel through these dark woods, making sure that if they see something, they steer us around it, making sure nothing's following us, making sure nothing tries to ambush us. Who is going to make the encounter roll? Our vanguard.
Dave, you can do that. Dave, you can do it this time if you'd like.
All right, Samuel.
Okay, so first we need to know how many people are wearing heavy armor.
That'd be 3 of us, Bob.
Show of hands.
All right, so 6 of you. So our 3 of you, so that's 6 points. We have a wizard, an arcane wizard, correct? That's 7 points.
Yep.
And then medium. We got 1 person wearing medium.
Oh, I'm sorry. We have 2 heavy, 1 medium.
Okay.
And 1 light.
I'm
Okay, yeah,
scale,
light'll
so
be
that's
good.
medium.
Okay, so it'll be 4, 5, 6 total for your group. Okay, so now Sam SirLucien can roll a stealth check for me. Ooh, fail. All right, so let me write that down. Fail.
Sam should not be making those rolls with a -1 for dex.
Well, it's more that your group is wearing armor that doesn't let them hide in the woods more than anything.
I thought it would be like a insight using the wisdom check, not dex.
Okay, so for that,
Alben's
yeah, so what ends up happening is you have to bypass what appears to be some rather large creature smashing its way through the woods. It takes you off track, and then at one point you think it's on your trail for a little bit as you guys begin to try to wind around, and you end up adding 2 more days onto your travel time dodging this thing and getting away from it. So I'll just add 2 more days to your travel. So we're up to 10 days total. We're at 12 days total now. Okay, and all that matters is how much rations you buy.
The Darkling Scouts couldn't have alerted us to that at all.
It's before you get to them.
don't.
Yeah. Okay, so let me write that down. 12 days. Okay. One last roll to make for our travel, and then we can arrive at what we're actually going to be doing. We need a rumor roll. This is the person who's keeping an eye out for interesting things that stand out in the woods or the mountains. You're looking for things that are like buildings. You're looking for things that might be shrines or temples. You're looking for holes in the grounds or caves, those kinds of things. Who is going to be rolling the rumor roll?
I did it last time, so Ram, all you.
Sure.
All right, this would be a straight perception check.
There you go.
Ah, nicely done. So, all right, I'm going to mark that down. This is going to be on the way back. Nope, you're not going to see any new sightings. So you guys don't pick up on any new ruins or anything like that on this trip. All right, cool. But it does. There's nothing bad that happens with that. Okay, so first day of travel goes by fairly quickly. You're getting to start to recognize the sounds of the forest. You're in a light forest in the beginning. Let's bring our map up so we can see it again. Oh, my dog is pesty tonight. So there, it starts out with a light forest once you leave the farms and ranches that are right around outside Port Bastion, and you go through your first evening camp. You find a nice defensible position. The mist kind of, as you go further inland, kind of dissipates, and it's a nice temperature. Seems to be clear skies. You travel through the second day, and you get into a much heavier forest, and then you start to feel the elevation begin to rise on the second day, and you start to see peeking out through above the tree canopy to the west of you. You're kind of heading towards the north part of it, the northwest part of it. You see a large mountain structure that just kind of spits its way up out of the forest canopy. And as you continue north on the third day, it's about midday, you're kind of skirting the tree line where you can see this enormous mountain. And it's about that time that you hear a whistle, and from behind one of the trees, a group of darklings step out who are wearing kind of dark greens and dark browns to kind of blend in, and they give a whistle to show you that they're there. They were pretty well hidden, and they approach cautiously as they see you. And this is the first time that many of you might be seeing darklings. Although we could probably, I don't know if we've done a roll on that yet or not.
They're in town, aren't they?
Did.
We did see some in town.
Yeah, somebody recognized what they were, right?
Yep.
Yeah. So you can kind of recognize them, but they definitely look at you askance as none of you are human. But Rula had given your descriptions to them, so as they approach. So you see them kind of walking up to you. You see it's a group of four. Three of them kind of take position and look out into the woods. They keep their bows at the ready, and as one of them walks up to you to talk to whoever was in the lead.
You
Step
are the
forward.
ones.
Hail, brothers. We have come to help, lend our aid where we may.
And what language are you using when you do say that?
Oh, common.
Common. Yeah, they give you a nod, and in a very you hear him say in Sylvan, like a greeting. That's a very typical greeting, Sylvan, but then he switches to common right after that, and it's a very kind of stilted, you can tell he's not very good at common, though he understands it. He has a hard time speaking it, and says well met, and there's kind of like pauses as he tries to figure out the words in common.
I'll hold my hand up and say, and Sylvan back to him, I'll greet him back and say, I speak your language, but I cannot say for sure that my friends, associates understand. So perhaps common is the best.
And he kind of he nods his head. What about the rest of the people in the group? Does anybody else have Sylvan? Okay.
Nope.
Speak Elven.
It's close. It almost sounds about right, but there's something off about it a little bit.
I speak Sylvan.
Okay, so you would pick it out too when Timor said that. All right, so yeah, he comes over, and the Darkling is probably about 4 foot-ish tall, a very pale grayish skin. You might think of them as almost like a very gnome-like, or maybe like a small elf-like. For those of you that have kind of not seen them before, and they're definitely wearing clothing that blends in with the forest around them. So he kind of kneels down, and like in the dirt, he starts drawing what you can recognize as the mountain that you're at now and how you're to the north of it. And he kind of marks an X where basically saying we're here now. And then he shows a line and through the dirt, and he shows a couple of markers that you would be able to recognize. And then he says, from here is where the evil has been coming from. And this is where we were able to see what he calls the Black Building.
Does he have a better description of the evil?
Is it stinky?
He starts kind of gesturing like they're only about his size. They seem to be rough-skinned, thick. Weapons seem to have to be very sharp to cut through the hide. Never seen them before. And they just gave him a name of Tough Hide at this point, and it's like in Sylvan is the name they used, but they didn't really have a name for it. Humanoid, 2 feet. He's like 2 feet, 2 hands. Carry, and he searches for the word like stone club. Sharp teeth. Hell to fight.
I'll look to everybody in the party. Any sign? Can anybody think of something like that?
Dragonborn?
Point to two Dragonborn. Questioning.
Yeah, not this far west. A group like that.
Can we make
With clubs. They would not be wielding clubs.
Are there any magic users in the group? Do you know?
He shakes his head, says, we've skirmished with a few of their, what we think are a scouting party, he says. Can be anywhere from 8 to 15. But it seems to be just these stone clubs that are useless for anything, though they hit hard if when one of ours has been damaged or when one of ours has been wounded. Mostly we've skirmished back and forth. Few have killed each other. We've always been able to either retreat or fall back or push them back and they retreat and fall back. Neither one of us have hurt each other too much, but it's because we know these lands better than they do, and it's clear they're encroaching and they're searching further and further into the east. And he kind of tries to draw it on the ground, like this weird sloped head. He draws some like jagged teeth on it, and it's just kind of a weird little drawing of a 4-foot humanoid creature of some sort.
Does it look like a crocodile?
Maybe a tiny bit.
Any chance of a history or arcana check or something?
You could probably do history with a really high DC, maybe a nature. You might be able to convince me with a nature.
All right, I'd like to attempt a nature roll then.
Sure. Yeah, you've not seen this drawing.
Very strange are these creatures.
Do they have skin like mine?
They shake their head, not scaled, just tough, very, very durable.
Thank you.
If they come looking for one to strip the meat from their bones, then they shall find it with this bird man. Their search is over.
Well, crack them like crabs.
So you notice he's pointing at the map too, and he's looking. He's like, "We have followed one of the scouting parties that we harried back off of our lands to the west, and it seems like there's this valley." And he draws kind of like a valley. You'll know it when you see. And he just kind of puts out like the big tree hit with lightning near the 2 large boulders standing atop each other as if they look like a tall one. He's just using like really graphic kind of landmarks that are obviously natural things that maybe remind you of something else. He's drawing it out on the ground. And he says they come from this valley. One of ours, and he kind of points back behind. He's like, foolishly went ahead. Tawa, he calls him. And Tawa's like just kind of gives a nod as he's out front, always looking out into the woods, kind of guarding as you guys are talking. followed too far in, was the one who went through the valley, found what was like inset two mountains, he said, and then they seemed to head back to these two mountains. He followed them up a trail and saw a structure made of black stone. He said that the patrol went in there. Tawa did not go any closer.
I'll look at the group.
Let's check it out.
This is definitely ominous. We could kind of see. Perhaps there's some kind of trade relations or something that we could bring up with these newfound people.
But first, nice work, Tawa.
Yeah, you get like a thumbs up from behind, but he's always looking. And the one you're talking to introduces himself as Askuwetu. And he kind of just gives a nod of all they do is attack when they see, if they have the numbers, they press. If they begin to get beaten, they retreat quickly, dragging their wounded with them. I don't think you'll have much luck talking with them of trade. They seem to be vile creatures, and he kind of spits on the ground. Go ahead.
What are their numbers?
Vary. He says, we've seen patrols push in anywhere from 8 to 15 at a time. They usually come about once a day. They try to push in. We've pushed them back, but we've taken casualties. We've had to draw our line back, and they are pushing further into our territory as they're just very tough, and we're having a hard time pushing them back. They just keep coming. Each day, a new patrol comes.
Since we are new friends, perhaps we should wet our lips with some wine. Sam, do you have a wineskin? Sam is a bit of a teetotaler. I have a wineskin. Let us drink.
Yeah, he would share a drink with you.
And with that, Albirix pulls the skin out and offers it to the Darklings and makes a bit of small talk as to lessen all of this discussion of this evil that comes and all of that. And also wants to know how many of them work for Rula, because to him it seems as though that's who they work for.
Yeah, he says, and he takes the drink and accepts it, and then after downing it, wipes his mouth with the back of his arm, and says, "Rula been good to Darklings. Help make sure the town appreciates information and guarding the western forests. It's been many years since many of our children have grown up and lived in Bastion, and now we live in our own town south of the mountain," and it kind of points up to the big mountain that you guys can see where your little meeting place is. Rula helped make sure we were able to help negotiate materials for us to create our own village and fortified town.
Did you not live here before her?
No. Most of our history is lost during the times of the and they use the word it's maybe like a swear word in Sylvan. You get the impression for Timor and Dragar, they're using the word like imprisonment or enslavement as like a swear word when they say it, and it's like a Sylvan word that they use, and he kind of gets like a dour look, and our people were used as puppets, and it was only through the actions of the mighty heroes that we were set free. And he talks of these heroes reverently when he mentions them.
With that, the Gith leans in very closely. You were slaves to another.
And then he kind of looks, and he does like a weird like almost like draws a symbol in the air, and then he whispers to you as he's looking over his shoulder, and he says, "The Huntress. May she never come back. May she stay dead, her damned soul."
A twig next to him lifts up into the air as of its own accord and snaps. And the Gith's eyes narrow. Slavery is not something to be tolerated. Does this bitch yet live?
And who was the one that delivered the death blow? Was it Vincent? The final
Yes, it
blow?
was. Yes, it was Vincent.
Yeah. So he looks to you with a very serious look in his eyes, and he says, "Oh no, Vincent," and he says it reverently. Made sure she never takes another breath.
Whilst they were talking, Skrull has a slate board, and he makes a near perfect copy of the map of what he did, and he tries to, in the margin, draw the symbol that he drew in the air, just to keep it in his head.
Yeah, it's like a warding evil kind of symbol for the Darklings. Yep. Actually, when you draw it out, you realize it's almost like a stick figure of a spider and human together, and then it's like an X out of it, almost like when you finally get it all drawn out.
Nice. That's cool.
And then in the ground, again, as he sees you're checking that out, he shows you a spot where they always come through this valley. If you're looking to see what we are speaking of, that valley would be the best place for you to meet them. And they come every day. They send another patrol. You'll be able to find them easy.
What time of day is it right now?
I was going to ask the same thing.
Midday. And when you're looking at it, it's clear that you're trying to figure out how far away this is, where this valley is. And let me bring the map up again. So from where you are now to the valley is about another half-day travel. If you leave now, you'll get there just after the sun has set. You'll be at the mouth of the valley, and that's where they come out of. Or you can camp here, and then if you leave in the morning, you would get there about noonish the next day at the front of that valley. And it's still in quite a bit of a hilly, heavily forested area they described to you. It's still kind of like a lot of elevation changes, and it's still pretty heavy forest.
Well, let's camp here, brothers.
Indeed, I know Sam has more wine. He's greedy with it, but perhaps he'll share.
I will
Sam,
take it out of your share.
Sam, fill us with your wine.
All right, so they kind of are looking anxious to ready to get moving again. Is the group done asking questions, or?
Did they give us an idea of where would be a good place to camp since they know the area well?
For today, or like if you're going to camp right now and not go anywhere, they can show you a spot here. If you're going to go towards the valley, they say be careful. The valley has a lot of changes of terrain and plenty of places to hide, plenty of places to find fallen log and fallen tree, or even small indent into the cave wall. Not necessarily a full cave, but a spot. But the closer you are to that valley, he thinks the more danger you'd be in of the scout party maybe finding you.
Let's camp here.
With just like maximum daylight when we get there.
Okay. Yeah, so you'd camp here tonight. So he shows you, he actually takes you to a place down towards the mountain. And there's this place where it looks like there's this tunnel. He lifts up what looks to be like almost like a trap door in the ground that has a bush over it. And then you drop down into a cave tunnel that is cleared, and he covers it over and says, "You'll be safe here. Good place to camp. Only take you half day to get to the valley when you want to leave tomorrow."
Thank you.
Yeah, and then they head back off to the north, and they start to head west to go ahead and try to make sure that the patrol that's coming for today doesn't get too far into the territory. So they head off. They don't stay with you.
So we're left with a half a day to kill?
Yeah.
Wait, are they going to go engage a patrol right now?
They're going to go keep an eye on or check to see if a patrol is getting into their territory, yeah. Though one thing I think you would know about them from your history check is they work probably 100 times better at night than they do during the day. So their patrols to ambush them or fight them are always at the darkest part of the night, where the Darklings are definitely a force to be reckoned with.
All right. So we're leaving first thing in the morning.
And it does. I think it'd also be clear they don't want to have you accompany them. You get the impression
That's
you're
cool.
too loud.
We understand.
Bigfoot make too much noise.
I'm going to try to take advantage of this time that we have to try to become a little more familiar with some of the local fauna and flora that's around me. This is a completely new land.
Well, you're actually inside the cave unless you go back outside.
Oh, yeah, I'm going to go back outside. It's the middle of the day. I'm not going to sit in a cave for an evening, a whole day.
Okay. So in this spot, you're on kind of the north side of the mountain, and this whole area is mostly just rock and barren kind of stone, rocks, and dirt. It's almost like this mountain rises up out of the forest, and the actual forest edge is like about half a mile north of you. You can see it, but it's definitely quite a bit north of where you're at. You guys are in the tunnels that you went down into in the previous campaign. You're in the tunnel that led you into the caves.
Cool. That's neat.
your campsite.
I'll bust out my playing cards so we can kill some time.
I'll join you in a game.
Skrull gets out what looks like a little twig person, like a Blair Witch symbol thing. And he starts fiddling with it, and he's reading in his book, and then all of a sudden a mystical force starts setting up his camp and his stuff for him. He creates an unseen servant.
Cool.
Timor,
Yes?
can you tell us again the story of your rejection from your parents?
Once again, I never met my parents. I'm an orphan from Tribor.
Why do you pick at him so?
It intrigues me. We're all part of a clan, yet he was rejected from his, and wonder why.
He was a
You know
baby.
why? True.
How would he know such a thing?
Don't know. Have you ever looked for your parents, Timor?
No. The family that took me in, the servants of Tyr, are my family.
Sounds like good folk. Were they human?
Most of them. Although in truth, I have never come to hear the voice of Tyr. It's one of the reasons I'm on this this island, this new land. I seek the voice.
Ah. Well, you're in our family now. We're all one family here, aren't we not, brothers?
I think you gain joy from hearing his terrible tale. That is what I think.
I think you're wrong.
The dragon kind are odd folks. Their behaviors are different than ours, for sure.
Do you hatch from an egg? Does anyone love you?
Oh, yes, my father did, but he was slain by my uncle bedding my mother. But
Yeah, we are taken away from our parents at a very young age to fight, and to become warriors, and to defend the land.
that is true, Sam. Some clans are better than others, aren't they, Sam?
So you are not of the same clutch of eggs?
Oh, no. He's a lowly brass dragon. I'm a golden dragon.
With that, Albirix kind of looks over at whoever is there like, whoa, I didn't know it was like that.
Yeah, watch your tongue before I remove it.
Oh, we know you jest, Sam. You do not have it in you.
That kind of oppression and class system is what we're here to get away from.
Oh, very true. We were all once slaves to the dragons, were we not, Sam? Maybe not us, but our ancestors. We hate slavery as well.
Yes, we were to those vile beasts. I would slay one on sight.
As would I, brother. And with that, I stomp him on the back with my arm.
At some point, Skrull sort of, walks over to Timor when nobody else is really listening, and he puts his hand on his shoulder and he says, better to not have known your parents than to have seen them eaten by ghouls. And then he just trundles back off.
You have the biggest spot in my heart of pity for you. I feel horrible that my poor bird friend has gone through that.
All right, with the banter that happens at camp here, what we're going to do is we're going to go ahead and take our first break of the evening. We'll take a 5-minute and we'll come right back. So my clock says 9:36, so everybody be back at 9:41-ish or 2, and we'll come back and we will continue on our travels towards this valley where some type of evil seems to be coming from as our group travels on and helps out the Darkling community that seems to be working in conjunction with the human settlement here at Port Bastion. So don't go away. Plenty of gaming to go here on a Monday night, holiday night, and I'm sure we're going to get to the action soon. So stay tuned, and we'll be right back. We are back from break. And it will be the next morning as the sun rises. You continue your journey to the west. You can tell that although you're coming down off the mountain, you're climbing through some hills that are heavily forested. And following the markings and the kind of map that had been drawn out for you, and following what Scrawl's squiggles and doodles show you, you feel like you've come to the area where you see what looks to be like a valley, and it's got kind of like a deep ravine, and it's clear there's some type of trail there, and it's beaten down more than a regular animal trail as you begin to approach. And it's about midday when you get to this valley. You recognize the tree that has been struck with lightning. You recognize two big, large boulders that are stacked on top of each other and kind of have a shape of like a giant kind of bending over almost. You can kind of vaguely see what they were talking about, and you feel like you have found the opening to this valley.
Is the path hard packed earth?
Yeah, it's like think of it as like the forested areas of, say, a Virginia or maybe like a Colorado kind of. So lots of tall pines, lots of tall single bark trees that have a high canopy, but then there's a lot of dirt and rock and shale and granites and all kinds of stuff that sticks up too. It's very kind of tumultuous kind of land. And the valley itself is pretty wide. Maybe it had been a river at one point, maybe not. Maybe it floods in a rainy season of some sort, but it looks almost like a very well-used animal trail, but it's wider than a normal animal trail as far as the beaten path down through this valley.
Is it clear that there are human footprints or humanoid footprints here?
Are you going to the valley? I'm pretty much have you guys up cresting kind of a hill where you see the start of the valley.
I would think go to the valley.
Okay.
I'll start marching to the valley. If somebody yells at me to stop, I will stop.
Albirix will be up in the front with some more, checking out the ground, the ground, looking for stuff.
Okay. So yeah, as you get down to the front area, anybody that's checking the ground for tracks can go ahead and roll a investigation roll.
I'm keeping an eye out on the surrounding with a hand on a javelin.
Okay, go ahead and give me a perception check for that then.
I'm not gonna lie, I was hoping you would say survival, but I got an 8.
Okay, Scrawl's looking at the ground for tracks.
Yep. Always looking for crazy little details and stuff.
Okay. Is the Dragar just because you're watching for anything to jump on you guys?
Yes, I am.
Okay. Okay, so yeah, 19s and 20s are good. Oh, here comes my dog again. So Scrawl, you're looking at the ground, and there's 2 checks there. Hey. I'm knocking my mic around. You definitely see tracks that are from what you would recognize as probably Darkling tracks have walked through here. Probably not recent, but you have seen some that have gone, it looks like have gone up the valley and come back, possibly, but have been scuffed up. The more recent tracks seem to be a humanoid foot. It's not one that you recognize, so it's not like an animal track. It's not a paw print. It's not a hoof print. It's more of like a foot, but not like one you recognize or you've seen before. It's definitely not like a Kenku foot either. And you can see quite a few of these tracks go in and out. They go both ways, and they go up the valley. And when they come out to the valley, they seem to range out almost like a spider web, like they've gone many directions before. And then you
So-
see mini tracks coming back in, and there's a lot.
Are they booted, or is it
No,
toes, claws, 5 toes, 2 toes? Can't tell.
you can't really tell. It doesn't look like
Okay.
a boot print, though. It doesn't match like your companions who wear boots.
All right, I'll sketch a note about it.
You would be able to recognize it again, but it's not something you've seen before.
Cool.
Timor and Dragar. You think coming from up the valley, you heard something, maybe like a twig break or a snapping of a branch, from up in the valley. But you don't see anything when you're looking that way. It kind of winds around a little bit, and it's definitely like a sheer cliff, almost like a valley. So it's more like almost like you're going into a ravine than it is a valley. And you're pretty sure you've heard something like a broken twig up in from further in.
I'll signal for everyone to hide.
I'm a 9-foot tall giant. I don't know if there's a tree big enough here to hide behind.
Albir really doesn't pick up what he's laying down and just kind of stays where he's at, checking out the ground.
But I heard it too.
Scrawl will try to hide.
Okay. Well then, maybe we'll just move you over to a map. How about that?
Nice.
All right, so you guys are down at the front of this. And you can decide where you want to do whatever. It sounds like whatever is coming from is definitely deeper in the ravine, but you're not sure, how far or where or even what it was. And let's do this.
Again, I'm going to stand in the best possible spot I can see, the longest distance, and keep my javelin ready.
Yeah, you can move your token wherever you'd like.
I'm going to go along this ridge just above him.
Okay.
I'm trying to hide in the shadows over here of this.
Hey, I'm gonna hide with Scrawl. Can someone move my token? I really can't move it from my phone.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah, you see plenty of trees and area to hide. Okay. So the first thing you see is down the way, you see what looks to be like a small humanoid kind of peek out and seems to be walking down the ravine, center of the ravine area here. You're not sure if it's seen you yet, those of you that are kind of just standing out in the open. Let me see if they see you. That would be the next question. We'll send that to me, and that would just be... Well, everybody go ahead and roll a stealth check for me. It's just for being quiet at this point. And not for the people that already rolled, but the ones that had not rolled yet. All right, so it definitely sees you. So right about the time you see it, you see one of these things sees you, Timor, and Sam. And what you see, I'll put it in the handout area. Edit. should go with the handouts. So you see this kind of like greenish creature with a stone club in its hand. And when it sees you, it turns and shouts at whatever's behind it and begins to rush forward.
In a hostile fashion?
Just seems to be rushing forward.
What kind of insight could I make on his intent?
You could do an insight.
Well, I do so.
Yeah, looks aggressive.
I throw my spear.
So
How
let me put him on the map.
insightful of you.
How far can you throw your spear?
There's no range.
I think it's 20 and 60.
30, is it the increments?
The squares are 5 foot each.
Range is 30, 120.
Why are you seeing that in the attack
On a
sheet?
spear? I don't think it's true.
It's in the compendium. I just looked it up.
Stepped it up. I'm
Yeah.
looking at my sheet thinking there's got to be some place here where I can click on it and expand it, but I'm not seeing it.
Yeah, no, in the compendium it says properties, range thrown, range 30/120.
No, it says 20 and 60.
Okay, I'm in the compendium.
That's what I just brought up. Spear.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Javelin.
I've got a javelin.
Oh. All right, yeah, so 30 is... Yeah, that's crazy. I didn't think it would go that far. 30 is a regular roll. Anything over 30 is a disadvantage roll. So a 10.
Okay.
Yeah, so you see your javelin streak out and then lands about 20 feet short of this creature. And at that point, let's have everybody select your tokens and we will roll initiative.
Come get some.
Oh, were there already stuff in there? Probably. So get rid of that one.
Did you just roll a 1?
Damn straight.
Sam got a 3. Scrawl got a 10.
It's critical. Got to get my initiative repaired back in camp.
How very cautious of you.
Very nice.
Are you able to roll, Dragard, or do you want us to roll for you? Oh, do we lose him?
Hear me?
Yep, can hear you.
Can you go ahead and roll for me, please?
Yeah, let me bring up the character.
He's in the heart of the storm.
It's a Michigan nor'easter.
Actual connectivity. Could be an off for a second.
Okay. You got a 14. Let me do this guy. And descending. All right. So starting off the round will be Alberix. You are up first in the round. You see currently one of them, but there's definitely more behind him.
I will hold my initiative until they're close enough to do something.
Okay. All right, so they're up. You see them charging forward down the center ravine. So let's go 30, 15, 20. So that's a dash action. And
Holy smokes!
all right, so they're waving their clubs. They're charging down, heading straight for you guys. They are done. That would bring us to Dragar is up. And I don't have a... Keep an eye on Discord if he drops, because I won't see it. You guys have to tell me if he drops. Are you able to hear us, Rom?
He's already hidden correctly, so correct. So can he just hold his action until they get close and then attack when they get into range?
Should be able to. All right. Yep, we'll move past. Scrawl is up.
So none of them have been hit. Just gonna use Toll the Dead on the very first one there.
Okay. DC 14. Go ahead and describe what the spell looks like.
Scrawl points his taloned hand and slams his staff on the ground, and a ghostly bell, like Liberty-size bell, appears around the creature, and they hear a deep boom, and it does necrotic damage. Whew.
Yeah, so what you see is the image of that bell, and it kind of goes right through the apparition of the bell itself, and you almost can tell that it doesn't even seem to affect them, doesn't seem to stop them, doesn't even slow them down. It's like it didn't even know it was there, didn't even hear it.
Well, I tried, fellas. I'm going back to town.
And they do see you now. Yeah, you're out of your stealth. All right, that brings us to Sam. Sam is up. These greenish-skinned creatures waving stone clubs, dashing, running as fast as they can towards you guys.
All right, come out from hiding and run up with sword and shield and stand my ground, ready for the fight.
Okay. And then Timor. Down at the bottom, last in the round.
I move up next to Sam, pull out my sword and shield, and stand shoulder to shoulder and just ready an attack action for the first one in range.
Okay. Brings us back to the top of the round as we see these things coming.
May I take my action?
Oh, sure. Were they close enough?
They were. I'm going to step up 1 foot or 1 square, which is 5 foot. And a crackling energy thorny whip extends from his hand and strikes the first one, which I believe is 30 foot away. That's my range, as he uses Thorn Whip.
Okay.
Does a 16 hit?
You see the Thorn Whip try to smack in. It's at the very end of it, so it's not like it can wrap around him. And it looks like it hits, but it doesn't seem to leave a mark, and it doesn't seem to wound the creature at all.
Whoa. All right.
They're immune to magic.
And with that, that's his action.
Okay. Any other movement? You only step forward 5 feet.
That's it.
Okay.
Hey, Lucian, am I still by Scrawl?
You are, yeah. You were still hidden. They don't see you yet. You didn't come out of stealth yet.
Okay.
Do you
I'll
want-
just hold my action until I can shoot.
You want to shoot? Oh, you're going to shoot something? They're within range if you want to shoot something.
Yeah. I'll go ahead and shoot my short bow. Could you go ahead and roll for me, please?
Okay. Short bow. 13. Although you're coming out of... No, I think you would get the 20. You're coming out of hiding. Didn't see you, so you get advantage on the roll. So we'll roll the damage there. Okay.
Should get sneak attack with that as well.
Yep, looks like it rolled it. Yeah, so the lead creature goes down with an arrow in its chest. All right. And they do now see you from where you're at. All right. Their turn is up, so they continue to charge forward. So he will get in range. He will charge, but not quite get there. Also dashing. 10, 15, 20, 25, 30, 35, 40, 45, 50, 55, 60. That's a full dash. He won't be able to attack, but he does get up to you. And then the rest of these will just go there 60 and not be able to attack. So there and there. There, and there. Okay, so only one of them gets to attack. The creature tries to hit Sam with like a stone club, and he's about 4 feet tall, but you can hear like almost like a whistling sound on this stone club. It's obviously a pretty strong, small humanoid swinging this stone club at you. So for a 13, which I think misses, would hit your shield. And then while it does that, as it smashes your shield and you're kind of jerked to the side a little bit, it tries to bite onto your arm. For a 15, which I think also is not a hit.
Yeah, miss.
Okay. So that is the only ones that get to attack this round. That would bring us to Dragar.
Did we get our held actions when they moved in?
Yeah. Well, yes, though you didn't say you were going to melee, but yeah, you can have a held action.
How magnanimous.
You got to say what you're going to do. What's the trigger?
I think we did. Or at least I did.
I'm gonna back your play.
I didn't want to interrupt you. You
Hey,
were so excitedly charging us.
I'm going to rewind it and show you what you said, because you said I stand with him shoulder to shoulder.
And attack the first guy that comes into range.
You didn't say that. But go
GB?
ahead. Yeah, you get an attack. He doesn't know.
I telling you, that's what I thought you said. I didn't hear it from.
Yep, you can roll. 7 will not hit. Sam, you can swing.
One second.
Boy, there's a mess of these dudes.
Also, so each of you, when your weapons hit their skin, you can tell it's a very tough hide. And in fact, both of you now have a -1 on your weapons. So keep that in mind. As you crit failed the roll, a 1 and a 1. Okay, so now we're back to Dragar.
All right. I'm going to shoot another arrow at him.
Okay, just closest one.
Yeah.
Okay.
Can you roll for me, please?
Yeah. So here goes a short bow. The arrow hits one of them, but then the arrow shaft itself shatters against its almost like a really stone maybe, or very tough hide that they have. They're not wearing armor. It's just that their skin is very thick and very strong, very durable.
Okay.
Anything else from Dragar?
No, I'm going to stay with Skrull to protect him if needed.
Okay. Skrull is up.
Oh, what got me killed last time is not being selfish. So this time I'm going to be selfish and cast mage armor on myself.
Ooh, what's this look like? I don't know if we've seen this yet.
So he kind of spins his hands up above his head, and it looks like a flock of ravens surrounds him in a black swirling mass, and then they sort of fade away like they fly off. But they only get like a foot and a half away from him. But this sort of dark color stays around him. He's just like a shadows.
Cool. All right, so mage armor. Now what's your AC?
I got to push the button. 16 now.
Okay, I'll change it on your token. All right, so it's a spell cast. Anything else?
Climbing is an action, correct?
Well, this area here, it's more just difficult terrain. So if you're going up these areas that look elevated, you have to use 10 feet to go up that instead of 5.
No, I'm talking about like boogieing it right up this tree here.
If you're going to climb into a tree, yeah, that would be an action.
Okay. All right. I move up to the tree trunk so that I can scramble up a tree next turn.
Okay, so that'd be that spot right there.
Perfect. That's just what I was thinking.
Okay. Brings us to Sam. You were up. There are a bunch of these creatures, whatever they look like. So they got really flat heads, elongated faces, almost like monkey arms. Seem to be pretty well muscled, and their skin seems to just be tough as nails. And they've got crude stone clubs and definitely sharp teeth, and they just have this nasty look as they're trying to get through your defense. What would you like to do?
All right, I yell at the one right in front of me, "Die, you ugly beast," and I swing my sword.
Okay.
That'll show him.
23 hits. Makes a wound across its upper shoulder.
You said I have -1 on the sword because of the one before. Does that mean on the attack or on the damage?
Just the damage. So 8.
It's like 8.
All right, so yeah, you see a wound open up. You split the skin, and blood starts to come out, and it goes from the shoulder to the pectoral chest area, and you can see that when it opens up, the thickness of this thing's hide is 3 or 4 times the thickness of your own skin. It's a very thick skin, which is what's making it really tough to try to wound these guys. All right, so yeah, you opened him up. He's not down, but he's definitely got a wound across him, and it looks hurt. Anything else from Sam?
Swing true, my friends. Their hide is thick. And that's it.
All right, Time War is up.
We'll swing at the one directly in front of me.
Okay. 18 hits.
6.
Same thing. You can see once the blade cuts in and it makes a deep drag mark across the body, you can tell how thick the skin is. It's 3 or 4 times the thickness that you've seen other creatures. Blood starts to gush out of it. It doesn't seem to stumble or stop. It definitely is still trying to swing its mace at you, or its stone club. So that's an attack.
That's it.
Okay. I'm gonna put that there. Okay. That brings us to the top of the round. Round number 3. Albrecht, you're back up again. You got one breathing down your neck.
With a thought, psychic energy crackles along the edges of his quarterstaff to form a bluish-green spearhead of psychic energy, which is Shillelagh. And that's my bonus action. I will move over here and attack the one in front of Sam.
Okay. So this one you can see has a wound on him. And your spear reaches out, but it crashes off the bone of the shoulder. You're kind of up above it, and you see it hit the shoulder and bounce and skid off, and you barely even make a little mark, but there's no blood coming from that wound.
That's my turn.
All right, so these creatures. All right, so let's start with the ones that aren't going to move, which are the 4 that are already kind of in position. We'll just have them do their attacks here. So a stone club heading towards Time War with an 8. It doesn't even. You just kind of. Just dodge. It's almost like a juke. Doesn't even come close. It tries to bite out at your body parts, and again, can't even get close to you. The second one swings towards you. Ooh, a 20. Does that hit?
Yep.
So as you were dodging the other one quite easily, almost as if it was clumsy, the other one gets a lucky hit as it's swinging nearly at the same time, and does 4 bludgeoning damage with its stone club. And you can tell that the club is just like a big piece of carved stone in some way. And then it tries to bite you while you're distracted and is able to also bite onto you for 6 piercing damage. The other one is going to try to hit Sam. Stone club. Misses completely, and then tries to bite out with a 15. I think is not enough, so it bites onto your armor, but it's not able to get through the armor. You don't feel any wound. You don't get hurt by any way. Your armor holds fast. And then a stone club on Alberix. Oh, 21 and 8 bludgeoning. This stone club bashes into your side as you had moved to help Sam. The one that you kind of left your attention off of just really hits you in the side, and then tries to move forward to bite you on your arm that's kind of reaching out and spearing its friend. But with a 10, it misses as you recoil from the stone club that's hit you. All right, so we have some of these guys that can move. So this one's going to move and try to help hit Sam. So he moves into the slot and swings his stone club at Sam. Your shield absorbs the blow, Nobody can get through your armor so far, and tries to bite at you. Yeah, it's not getting through any of your armor. You're like a wall standing there in the center. They're not able to get through. 2 of them start to head up towards Skrull and Dragar. 5, 10, 15, 20. 25 can get to Skrull. 5, 10, 15, 20, 25. 30 can get to Skrull. Can't quite get to Dragar. The other 2 are going to scrabble up 10 feet, 15, 20, 25, 30. And he's going to be behind. Is going to try to dash around to cut off escape. They can't attack, but they're going to try to cut off escape. Oh, yeah. One gets a swing at Skrull. Here comes a stone club. Ooh, 17.
Hit.
8 bludgeoning damage. Oh, boy. We need
Down he goes.
more hit points. Yeah. And then that one can't... So it's going to move to Dragar, but it has to dash to do it. It's not going to have an attack. So it has to get close. And that is their turn. Brings us to Dragar is up. You have 1 in front of you, and Skrull to your left has fallen from a stone club to the head. Looks to be unconscious on the forest floor. And you can see 2 of them that are moving around towards the back of your guys that are standing forward. What do you do?
Fall back and punt.
Looking like it.
Did we lose him? For those of you that are watching, we have one player who has a storm going over his house, so he's trying to play from his phone because the power went out and it got knocked out. He's trying to stay playing with us, but we're not sure how long that'll last.
If I knew Dragar,
Disengage. Yeah, he's gonna stick it out. What's the group consensus? What would Dragar do?
He's not here, so just have him attack.
All right.
I'm here now.
Oh, there you go. Your turn.
All right. So explain to me what's going on with me and Skrull.
Skrull is prone on the ground, unconscious. He's just been hit by a club in the head. One has moved forward towards you, but he used all his movement to get to you, so he wasn't able to attack you. He's definitely pulling back to swing at you next round. And then 2 more have started to flank around your group. It looks like they're trying to cut off your escape.
All right, I'm going to move back 30 feet and then shoot an arrow at the one by Skrull.
Okay, there is one right next to you that will be able to swing opportunity-wise. Do you want that to still happen or revise what
No,
you're
I'll
doing?
I'll drop my bow and pull out my rapier to attack.
Okay. So attack that one right in front of you then. Okay. Here goes a rapier attack then. 16, not enough to dig into the thick hide of this creature. It scrapes off, and you put a mark on his skin, but it doesn't go deep enough, and you don't see any blood coming out from it. Anything else you would like to do? We'll wait to see if he comes back.
Guessing no.
Yeah, we'll move on. Skrull is up. We need a death save, please. Skrull.
For whom the bell tolls. All right.
All right, 1 success. Nice.
Woohoo!
That brings us up to Sam. It's lots of things around you. You're holding fast. You think Timor's been hit pretty hard. You probably have not recognized what's happening to Skrull or Dragar. Alberix is also hit next to you, but is still standing.
And looking pretty rough.
All right, I raise my shield and sword to the air and call down the mighty gods to unleash lightning and destruction on these ugly-looking creatures.
Okay.
And that's within a 15-foot cube, so I don't know how I show you where I'm going to cast it. I'm going to
give me a
cast
second. One moment. I'm going to draw a shape. I'm going to make it yellow. And then I'm going to do... So it's basically a square like this. Where would you like that square to go?
One section lower. Yeah, that's good.
Okay. So those three have to make a Constitution saving throw. So let's do that. Go ahead and describe what this looks like as you cast a thunder wave.
It looks like one of the worst lightning storms you've ever seen in your life, where the clouds just dark clouds just start to settle down from seemingly out of nowhere, as crackling thunder just comes up from the ground, striking them.
All right, and I think they take half damage if they make their save, correct? Is that what your spell says?
Yep, and the one in front of me already has, I think, 8 damage.
That it does. It's definitely hurt. And if they miss the save, they get pushed back 10 feet. So you see a body corpse go flying back 10 feet. You see another one take full damage. Go back flying. It gets smashed on these walls here and shoved over to the side. I'm going to make it take another 2 points of damage from being kind of pushed against this wall of stone and then yeah, there we go. Okay. Now the middle one, which was hurt, he has further damage on him, and the wound the sword wound that you had hit him with has opened up even more from the thunder damage that blows by him. But he made his con save, and he stands firm, staring and growling and hissing and spitting at you in the face of your thunder wave magic. All right, good stuff. Anything else?
That's it from Sam, besides a loudy ha-ha. I mean, a loud ha-ha.
All right, Timor is up.
I backhand that guy in front of him.
Yeah, there's a very wounded one to the right of you. Sword's not able to cut through the skin of this thing. You've been rolling low. Yeah, that's a 4 you rolled.
Wah, wah, wah.
Anything else?
No.
Alberix, you are up. What's your health at?
1.
Ooh.
So Alberix utters a word, a mystical word that creates a misty breath that escapes his lip as he casts healing word. So the breath comes out and then immediately forms a small cloud and then goes back into his nostrils to heal himself with a bonus action.
All right. How much do you heal?
7 points healing. And then he drives his psychic spear into the one in front of Sam. Does a 19 hit?
It does.
8 points of damage as he does an overhand strike that hits it right below the jaw.
Yeah, and it goes down. Blood spurts out from underneath the jaw. All right. Anything else?
He just kind of moves his shield in front of him and makes ready to do what next? What's next?
All right. So now we have their turn. All right. So we're going to have one move past Skrull and try to get to Dragar. We have these two come around, and after seeing Sam cast a Thunder Wave, powerful magic, and seems to be unstoppable, standing in the center of everything, are going to try to attack him from behind. And then everyone else is dead but that guy, so he's going to try to move back in to the open spot next to Timor. Okay, lots of attacks here. Here we go. So starting with Timor, the one on the left, the north left one. A club for 6. Completely misses. And then it tries to bite at you. Oh, completely misses. Probably hurts its teeth. I'll tell you what, I'll give you a -1 on that for it hurt itself trying to bite you. And then the one in front, he's the one that got hit by Sam. So they're really going after Sam, this Dragonborn who is casting crazy magics and nobody can seem to touch. They're going to try to take Sam down. So here's a stone club for Sam. Misses, bounces off the shield. It tries to bite at you. Completely misses. I'll give it another -1 for a critical fail. And then the two below are also going to try to hit Sam. They're all just piling in on him. A 9. I can't hit Sam at all tonight. And a bite. Oh, okay. So a bite finally gets through on your arm as you're fending off attack after attack after attack for 5 piercing damage. And then the last one, stone.
Hey, Sam, did you get my message?
Yeah, I was trying to get tell him what was going to happen. Hey, Lucien?
Yeah.
So when that guy hit me, I have a reaction
Okay.
called Wrath of Storm.
Yeah.
That does 2d8 on a hit.
Yeah. Yep. So take your the 5 piercing, and then then your reaction can go off. This is your channel divinity, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Does the lightning come from your eyes or from your tail?
DC 13 con.
It just kind of comes from the sky. Just a reaction of protection of my gods.
Yeah, so okay, so we see a bolt just slam down on this guy to the south. He's below Timor, and he's a little bit to your southwest of you as it smashes down into him. That's the one that hits you. The other one next to him tried to swing at you and was thrown off by this lightning bolt smashing into his companion there. Missed on his stone club and also missed biting you. So that leaves, we can't get to Sam hardly at all. Dragar, here we go. So you have 2 guys attacking you, Dragar. So here's a stone club. For 7, you dodge out of the way. A bite. A 9, you dodge out of the way again. While you're dodging, the second one tries to swing at your head. Ooh, a 21 though. Stone club connects with your shoulder. 8 bludgeoning damage. And then it tries to bite you as you reel from being hit by the stone club. 18?
Hits.
for 6 piercing damage as it bites into the top of your shoulder and shakes its head.
All right, I go down.
All right, 2 are down. Looking drastic. That is their turn. That brings us to Dragar. We get a death save, please. That is 2 fails, sir. If you crit miss on a death save, you get 2 of the fails marked off. Dragar looks in very bad shape. Any of you that are looking towards him. Scrawl, death save, please.
Cat does nothing.
You are up.
Hot damn!
On you awaken, you breathe out, you have 1 hit point as you lay on the ground.
And I can immediately take an action, correct?
Yeah, it's your turn. Full action. You're prone, so to stand up, you use half your movement. Yay,
Yeah,
with a
I
crit
think-
save.
I think I'm gonna use my action and climb the tree.
That would leave their 5-foot area. Do you want an attack of opportunity?
Yeah. No. I wasn't thinking. All right. Give me 1 sec. I gotta switch sheets here.
Our wizard, Kenku, takes a breath.
Alberix is worried a bit.
I'm gonna try to cast a spell. I'm gonna cast False Life.
Okay. Go ahead and put it in chat for us and then tell us what it looks like. All right, so you get 1d4 plus 4 temp. You're muted if you're talking.
Oh yeah, the spell didn't do it, so I'm doing it manually here.
Yep, no
One
problem.
moment. Woohoo! All right.
Nice, back to full, or do you get?
Yes,
No, that's 10
that's-
points actually.
Right, so I have 9 total currently.
Yeah, because you have 8 temp and then 1 real one. Nice.
And I've described this before, but basically he like raises his hands up and worms and beetles and such come bubbling out of the ground, but they all wither and die. And
Can you
then
guys hear me?
and you're covered. Then the person who gets the temp hit points is covered in like a misty, wispy black shadow.
Awesome. All right. Did you stand up?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes, I did.
All right. I took the thing off. Yeah. Okay. So we see our Kenku rise again, and that will bring us to Sam is up. Our cleric.
All right, so I see my dragonborn friend reeling in agony, close to death, some distance away. So what I'm going to do is swing at the creature behind me with my sword, because I've already turned around.
The one straight down or the one that's below Timor?
Straight down from me.
Because one's wounded, one's not.
Right, the one straight down from me is wounded already, right?
Nope, it's the one below Timor's wounded.
All right, I'm going to swing
This
at that one then.
Yeah, that's the wounded one. Pretty wounded. All right, swing away. An 11 does not get through its tough skin.
All right. And then gonna cast a healing spell on my dragonborn friend.
Okay. All right, so Dragar gets back 4 points from a healing word spell. And what does that magic look like?
That just looks like a white column just comes down from the heavens and irradiates him and gives him back his health.
Awesome.
Thank you.
All right. That brings us to Timor.
Get him, Furbolg!
I'm going to give a tremendous roar and try to gain as much attention of those attacking us as possible and use a dodge action.
Okay.
Push the charisma.
All right. Yeah. Give me a intimidation roll. Oh, nice. Yeah, it works. Okay.
Is that a 25?
All right. So they are beginning to react to your challenge. And let's go ahead and take our 5-minute break real quick, and then we will come back and we will see. We'll be at the top of the round. This is like round number 5, I believe, and we will come back and see how our players fare in this ambush of creatures, humanoid creatures they have not seen before. So stay tuned. Don't go away. Lots of things are still happening. We'll be right back in 5 minutes. All right. All right, we're back, and we're going to finish out this combat. We're at the top of round 5 when it happened. If you're just joining us, we had several characters go down, but through some healing and a critical success on a death save, all players are back up at the top of the round. It's still a super tough fight. We're about to see what happens here with this group. So let's get back over to the map, and let's start with Albirex and see what they do. So here we go. Albirex is up. What would you like to do?
So the one just south of Sam is not wounded, and the one to my northeast is not wounded, correct?
Correct on both accounts.
So with that, he kind of jostles the one to his top right with his shield and attempts to stab him in the guts.
Okay. You
24?
strike true. Yes.
6 points of damage as he buries it into his belly.
Yeah, you open up a nice big wound and you see blood start to gush out. The creature lets out kind of a cry of pain. Anything else?
That
from
is my turn.
Albirex? All right. These creatures. All right. So meeting Timor's challenge, 4 of them are going to try to swing at our paladin, who is dodged, so I will get disadvantage to hit you. And I think it was a pretty good intimidate roll. I'm going to move one more over towards you. For a total of 5 of them have answered your call of challenge. That leaves, one of them leaves both Skrull and Dragar, so you have a chance for an attack of opportunity if you'd wish to use your reaction.
Yes, please.
All right, swing away. We'll let that resolve real quick. 23 hits from Dragar. Quarterstaff misses from Skrull. Yeah, you would get sneak attack because you have somebody near you, right? Or you get it all the time because of your class. Yeah.
Nope, someone's near me. So.
15. Yeah. That is. Ooh. You. Oh, that's not what I wanted to do. The rapier sinks deep into the back of this creature, and blood pours out of it as it leaves, heading towards and stumbling, and has to put its hand on the ground as blood is gushing out, and then it barely stands again, and it looks like it's on death's door as it makes its way over to try to hit Timor. Yes. You nearly killed it. Okay, so that one's there. So there is still one next to Skrull and Dragar. He saw Dragar draw blood from that guy, so he's going to attack Dragar. So let's do that one first. There's a club towards Dragar. Ooh, an 18.
That hits.
7 bludgeoning damage.
And I go back down.
Oh. Dragonborn down. All right. And then he looks over towards Skrull, and he's going to try to bite onto Skrull. But he misses. I'll give him a -1 for hurting his teeth. As he's not able, you hear the teeth snap together, and you see one actually just fall out. The jaws have snapped together so hard as it misses your wing, your arm. All right, so that leaves 1 on Albirex. So let's do a stone club towards Albirex. An 11 misses as you dodge out of the way, and then it tries to bite at you. 17.
The bite catches the edge of his shield as he rams it towards his face. It does not hit.
Not enough. Nice. Yeah, it crashes onto the edging. Perfect. That's it. So the rest of them now are at disadvantage, And there's going to be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Oof. Here we go. So I'm going to do stone clubs first, Mr. Timor. Here we go. 1 misses. 2, a 20, even at disadvantage, I think is a hit for 6 bludgeoning damage.
Goes down.
Oh, no. Crashes down. That was 2 of them. So so we'll send the bites towards Sam. 10. Oh, it's not disadvantage anymore. Normal. He only got a 10 though. He'd miss. And an 8 misses. Can't attack Sam. Can't reach Sam. 1 more can reach Sam. 1 stone club towards Sam. Misses. Bite misses. Can't hit Sam at all tonight. They have missed. But we're back to 2 characters down. It's going back and forth, back and forth. Dragar is up. Oh, we're back to death saves, but you reset your death save counter, so you're back at nothing, so that's good. But we need you to make a death save, please.
Ah.
1 fail. Blood coughs out of your throat. Scrawl is up. There is 1 next to you and several wounded around Timor's prone body.
I'm gonna in very typical action movie kind of thing, I like duck and dodge the Norker and grab the healing potion off of Dragar's pouch or belt and glarp, use my action to feed him the potion.
All right, 2d4 plus 2 to Dragar.
Nice move.
2d4 plus 4 or plus 2?
I think it's plus 2.
All right.
Eight.
Woo!
Back and forth from death's door back to alive. Death's door back to alive. All right. That brings us to anything else?
No, I got nothing.
Sam is up. Cleric, you see the paladin next to you has fallen. Dragar has just been fed a potion of healing. You are up.
All right. In these dire circumstances, I know that we all must fight hard and do what we can to survive. So I, too, take my healing potion.
Okay. Yep, 2d4 plus 2.
Timoris once more.
Wait, Sam's taking it for himself, though, right? Is that what I heard?
Yeah.
Okay.
Sam's a greedy bastard.
So you got 7 back.
So back to full.
Yeah, what's your full?
11.
Oh, okay. Yep, back to full. All right, so that's your action. You pulled it out of your pack and drank it?
Yep, that's it.
Okay. Timor, we need a death save from our paladin. Success. 2 more and you stabilize on your own. All right, round 6. Alberex is up.
Alberex strikes once more into the face of the slope 4-headed creature to his right. $15's not going to hit, is it?
No, it does not get through the toughened skin of this thing. It bounces off. It puts a line in it, but no blood seeps from it. Anything else?
Yes, he is going to use his final healing word to get Timor up.
Okay.
Eight hit points back as the frosty breath escapes his own mouth and then materializes before the magnificent mustache of the Furbolg and brings him back to the prime.
All right. Yeah, we see him take a deep breath once again. All right, that brings us to our
Thank you.
creatures. We're going to have this one move. Standing over its friend to try to get towards Sam. So 4 of them are still concentrating on Sam. I'm going to see if... Not that you're trying to do it, but give me a stealth roll, Timor. I want to see if he notices your breath or not as you waken. There's the one next to you that's almost dead, but he's on the left of you.
Do you want a stealth roll or some kind of acting roll?
This would be stealth. His passive perception's an 11, so you want a stealth roll higher than 11. Oh, okay, so he notices.
Sweet move.
Okay. All right, so the one down here, he's knocked Dragar down a couple of times. Dragar keeps getting back up. Skrull looks pretty hurt. He's going to try to defeat this raven creature next to him to the north. So he's going to do a stone attack towards Skrull. Or a stone club. 19 for 4 bludgeoning damage.
All right.
And then tries to bite you, but it's only a 13. All right, so...
Actually, my armor saved me on that one. So, like, he bites just shadow.
Okay. Yeah. All right. So he is done. And then let's do the 4 on Sam. Here we go, Sam. Everybody is trying to take this Dragonborn cleric down, and they just can't get to him. 18. That one might be a hit.
Yep, that's right on. And then I'm going to use the wrath on them again. The lightning from the dark clouds above.
Okay. You get how many of those?
My wisdom modifier. So I get 3 per long rest.
Sweet. All right. Yeah. So the one that just attacked you was a very wounded guy there. So go ahead and roll your damage. You take 8 bludgeoning damage.
All right.
And then that's enough to kill it. So it will not get to bite you as another bolt of lightning comes crashing down through the canopy and smashes into another one. All right. 1, 2. Yeah, that would be something different now. So let me do some other things here. I think they're gonna make some rolls here. Oh, okay. 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 Here we go.
Well,
so
which guy just went down? The one just south
one.
of.
That's the one that was hitting you.
Okay.
So that one just died from a lightning bolt. So this guy next to you, north of you, is going to try to hit you. Stone club swings at your head. 15 misses. Tries to bite onto you. Can't bite onto you. The one near Alberex, as the lightning crashes in the ground and another one falls, it runs 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30.
And I shall attack it.
Yep, go ahead. Use your reaction.
19
hits. Yep. How much damage? Ooh.
8 points of damage as he plunges it directly through his back as he turns.
Yeah, you put a huge wound in him. Blood is pouring out as it tries to run away. You can see blood on the ground is spurting out as it's nearly at death's door, but it's still managing to run, basically dash away down the ravine. Next one, down below Sam. 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30. Gets to there and then does a dash. 35. Oh no, 30 would be right there. So he's stuck there.
So we got an attack. We got an attack because he ran away, right?
Well, Timor would. Sam, you used your reaction with the lightning.
Okay, right.
Technically, I'm still on the ground.
So you can just disadvantage roll, but you can still, it's a free roll. It doesn't, well, here's the other thing. This one leaves 2. This one's more wounded. So this one also leaves 5, 10, 15, 20, 25. He's going around Alberic, staying out of its way. 5, 10, 15, 20, 25.
I'm going to kick at the wounded one that when it leaves. How about that?
Okay, there you go. Disadvantage hit towards the wounded one. Nope. That will be a miss. You're down to -2 now. You need to get this sword fixed.
I'm throwing this sword into the next lake I find.
Yeah, so that one stayed.
You shall be a kingmaker.
Yeah, this one also ran. So 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30. And then 30 more. 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30. All right. The last one. The one near Dragar and Skrull did not run. It's going to once again try to smash in the bird's skull. Stone club whistling towards the raven head. 14.
No. Woo.
Smashes off the armor.
Shatters.
And then the bite.
Nice.
That hit. For 6 piercing damage bitten onto you. Did you have healing potion?
Yeah, I do, but it's in my pack, not on my belt.
Okay. Then it is safe. All right, so you take 6 piercing damage from a bite. Oh no, down again.
Yep.
Okay, that is their turn. Dragar is up.
All right. I'm going to pull my dagger out as well, so I'll have my rapier and my dagger in hand.
Perfect.
And I'm going to attack this guy. Um,
12 is a miss. Rapier, he kind of dodges out of the way. And then a dagger. 13, it scrapes across him as he dodges out of the way of your rapier, and then you time it so that your dagger is going to also slice across him. You just recognize that it digs a little way into the skin, but it doesn't go deep enough to draw any blood from him.
all right.
Anything else?
That is it.
Skrull. Death save, please. They have been reset. So you're back to 0 and 0. Let's see how the roll goes. You've already 20'd out of one of these.
Yeah. Ding ding, round 2.
All right, success. 2 more and you will stabilize. Sam is up. You still have one in front of you. Has barely a scratch on him, while the rest seem to be in full retreat.
All right. So for him, I'm gonna swing my sword, even though I'm wounded badly.
Oh, you're
Hey.
like Timor. The sword is, you can just hear the pommel being cracked. Another notch has been taken out of it. You're down to -2 on your damage now. Keep that in mind as you critically miss.
Can I use inspiration on that swing?
You can if you're going to do it before you roll.
Well, I planned on doing it before I rolled, but I understand. So
Yeah, and it did
I
roll
didn't know that's
twice.
rolled a 1 twice.
That was a
Yeah,
booty roll.
yeah. No matter what was going to happen there.
All right, that's it.
Okay. Timor, you were prone, but nothing seems to be swinging anything at you at the moment.
I'm going to stand up.
Come on, time.
And I'm going to backhand the one right in front of us.
Okay. Longsword strikes true. Remember, it'll be -2, but you have at least cut it open. Ooh, nice.
8.
Oh, that's a good hit. It's severely damaged. Not down, but severely damaged.
Do I have its attention? That's the important thing.
Do you want to try to get its attention? It's pretty focused on
I absolutely do.
All
I
right,
went
yeah.
down screaming. I'm going to get back up screaming.
All right, yeah, you have its attention. Anything else?
No. Again, just using my
Round
crazy
7.
intimidation.
35 seconds since this battle started. Alberix.
Alberic sees the strike that Timor has landed, and as he jerks, he drives his spear into him and misses.
Yeah, he's stunned and staggered by Timor's shot, and it throws your spear hit off as he kind of stumbles from the blow that the furball hits him with, and your spear misses. Any other actions or bonus actions?
That's it.
All right, their turn. Ooh, he's staying in it. He's in it to win it. All right, he's staying. Timor's got his attention, so here you go. Stone club to Timor's head. 3 bludgeoning damage as it smacks you in the noggin, and then he tries to bite you as you're reeling from his stone club hit and misses.
Yeah, I can't see your rolls.
Oh, yep, they went to the GM again. Public, there we go. Chat can see him, so we're good. So yeah, it was a 22 to hit and a 6 to hit, 3 bludgeoning and then a miss. All right, so the one south goes 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30. 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30. Dragor, it tries to run. You miss as you try to stab it in the back, and it takes off running. That is their turn. Dragar's up.
All right, I'm going to pull my healing potion out of my pack and feed it to Scrawl.
Can you describe that for us?
Yeah, I quickly take my pack off, dig through it, pull the cork, and I walk over to Scrawl and lift his head up into my arms and slowly start to pour the potion into his mouth as I massage his throat so it goes down.
Nice over description. I like it.
Freaky bird, man.
Like getting your dog to take a pill.
Yep.
All right. 2d4 plus 2.
And that would be 8.
Yep. 8 points for Scrawl.
Woo! Thank you, thank you.
Scrawl, you there? You all right?
Let's get him.
You still have movement if you want to do anything.
No, I'm just gonna help Scrawl get to his feet, make sure he's okay.
Awesome. Scroll is up. You are prone on the ground with Dragar standing over you as you've just taken the refreshingly awesome tasting liquid of a healing potion. Tastes like bubblegum.
Is the one in front of our friends damaged?
Yes. The only one that seems content to stay and fight.
I told the dead him.
Okay. Ooh, DC 14. Here we go. Wisdom save. Makes it. He shakes. This one is obsessed with your group, is here to fight to die. Shakes off your bell magic. Anything else, Scrawl?
No, I'm good. I'm just trying to stagger up and get my bearings.
All right, Sam, you are up. What's our cleric doing? Dragonborn cleric.
All right, I had enough of this guy.
Me too.
So what I do is I hold my shield and sword in the air and open my mouth and unleash lightning from my breath.
All right, and it shoots out how far?
Shoots out 30 feet straight
Just
line
the
in
one.
front of me,
Yeah,
30 by 5.
Yep, so damage away. I think he gets a dex save, right? To take half.
DC 13.
He misses, so he'll take the full lightning bolt hit, as lightning seems to come from everywhere. So you did 6 lightning damage. Oh, he gets hammered. There's like a black bolt strike in his chest. He's still standing. Barely. He wobbles. There's like smokes that's coming up from the wound of the lightning. It crackles all around him as he slowly, barely can see. Seems like he's still trying to swing his club.
All right, and that's it.
Die more. Finish it.
If I make a ranged attack from this point, does this guy get an attack of opportunity on me?
No. Nope. If you were trying to shoot this guy, you get disadvantage. If you try to
No, I'm
shoot
gonna
somebody
shoot the guy
else,
running
yeah,
away.
it doesn't matter. Yeah.
I'm going to interact with a javelin and chuck it at that run. I'm going to throw that traitor sword right to the ground, and then I'm going to interact with a javelin and throw it at that guy.
All right. So 35 feet disadvantage. Or you can move to get closer and then get a regular hit.
Can I move in that as long as I don't leave his range?
Yeah, that's true.
That's such a weird rule, but I will pass him
Sure.
to his left.
Yeah, so if you go
To
up
make a normal
10, yeah, that'll be a normal attack. Yeah. Game the system, man. Game it.
Damn it!
All right, dagger sticks in the ground, makes him run quicker. As he looks back and he has fear in his eyes as the furball kind of rushes forward and throws it on like almost like an Olympic javelin throw, hurls it past him and it smashes into the tree next to him, and you can see it go, and he keeps running. Does that mean we're at the top of the round, round 8? Alberex, are you going to end this fight or what?
Yeah, so Alberic steps up and tries to end this dude with his psychic spear.
All right.
With a critical for 12 damage. So he shoves the dude with his spear to move him away from Sam and has an upward thrust that catches him just under his jaw. And all sorts of gray matter and other bits of gore break out from the exit wound.
I'd like to point out that I am directly opposite again from one of your slaughter victims, and you probably cover me in gore one more time.
He is showered in the gore.
Yes, I like it. All right. Anything
And
else?
I will move 30 feet towards the people fleeing with bloodlust in his yellow eyes.
All right. Now everybody's confident all of a sudden, huh? You want him to turn around?
Come get some.
All right. Their turn. Yeah, they're going to dash. So they're doing 60. So these ones you're not going to be able to keep up with. I will give you a chance to kill this last one. But these other ones are they're gone. They're down the ravine at this point. This last one, anybody that wants to do anything gets to this. Wait a minute. 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30, 5, 10. Yeah, so he's going to get here. I'll let, if anybody can do something before he's off the map, one last chance.
I'll shoot him with my short bow.
All right. Is it short range or long range?
Short range, within 80 feet.
Okay. Yeah. Yeah, 19 would hit. Ooh, nice. An arrow sticks out of his back. He's not down yet.
One javelin for disadvantage.
Okay. 10 miss. Anybody else?
Scrawl motions and makes them the casting like he's casting magic missile, but there's no magic there to go. So no.
Okay. So that would only leave Sam or Albirix. Last chance to
All right.
do something.
Albie, you do anything?
If I could move forward, I could hit him with a thorn whip.
You can move 30, yeah.
So Albirix charges forward and unleashes his cerebral whip once more. And misses with a 16.
Yeah. And Sam, what was that?
I'm going to cast Sacred Flame, which has 60-foot range, but I think I still have to get a little bit closer.
Yeah, you can move up to 30 and still cast. Yep.
Did these creatures make any noise while they were attacking? Is it like grunts and clicks and whistles?
Very goblinoid sounding.
So 6 Radiant with Sacred Flame. Cantrip.
Okay, so that has to be, is that a DC or is that you have to roll to hit?
It's a DC Wisdom, isn't it?
Yep.
It's a Dexterity saving throw.
Yeah, he makes it. So this one is lucky enough to escape the wrath of your party and disappears up the ravine with his fellows. And then it grows quiet once more in the woods.
Wow.
I can't see how badly wounded everybody is, but I'm assuming we need to pack up and go right now.
Yeah.
Albirix kind of looks at Scrawl as though waiting to see if he's going to carve him up into fillets.
I try to saw one of their heads off at least to take back with us to show people.
I'll just pick one of the bodies up.
even better. I would appreciate that.
I'm going to investigate their bodies. They have anything on them, coin or anything else?
No, you don't even see like pouches or pockets or anything. They've got stone clubs and just their teeth, and they no boots, no armor. They have a loincloth.
Pink socks.
Yeah, they have battle scars and wounds. They've obviously have been in battle quite often. They have a very goblinoidish look to them in some ways. You feel like maybe they're in some way part of that family of species, maybe orc related or goblin related or hobgoblin related or something like that. Something of the goblinoids. But this is the toughest type of goblinoid you've come up against. You've not faced anything like this. And when you're looking at their skin, it's like rock hard when you move it around. The clubs themselves are made of like just a crappy stone that you're not even sure how it's formed, how they make them, or if they just somehow chisel them out of a solid stone, or if they're made in some other way.
I hate these things already.
As do I.
We'd better serve ourselves to not rest here this evening, though.
Yeah, it's midday.
That was a 35-second fight. I think we could just go right back to where we camped last night.
Yeah, I agree. Let's go.
I'm sorry, 45-second fight. Those last 2 rounds. Like drag it out.
Use the scroll. Use the scroll.
We didn't buy it.
These are honored warriors for sure. They know how to fight.
All right, so heading back to town.
I think so.
Yep.
All right.
Should we bring back a head, an ear?
I got a whole body.
Oh, you got a whole body? I was going to say we should show Rula or somebody that maybe they can identify these creatures.
They're shit creatures that need to die, and I'll see to that.
Yeah. So the travel back is rough. Though some of you have received heals to your wounds. You feel like you have a lot of sore muscles and a lot of joints that are overreacting from the use. The toll of the damage that your bodies took is really telling. And it's not once until you get back to town and you finally get a rest in a safe place where you start to feel vibrant again and not as beaten up or bruised as you were. It's about another 5 days back. You get lost twice on the way back. You go off on the wrong trail and then realize that you've gone too far and you have to double back after about 4 or 5 miles. And you come back around and you eventually make it back. You take the creature. The guards at the gate don't recognize the creature at all. Let's see if Rula. I'll just do a roll for Rula. Rula does recognize them and does say their name that she knows of them. They're called the Norker, Norker, and they are a kind of a, well, just like you thought. They think they're part of like the goblinoid family of some sort. Though she has not seen any since she has been here, this is the first she's heard of that creature being anywhere around Revonar at all. So this is news to anybody in town. All right.
Well, they're patrolling in force. Make sure we tell everybody that.
Yes. Yeah.
If at all possible, I'm gonna study the darn thing, and maybe do a little flyer, blah blah blah. I'll write up something in the rumors of what I post, like a little, watch out for these things and that sort of deal. If that's cool.
Sure. Yep. All right. So you make it back to town. So it turned out to be a 12-day trip for you. So you ended up using more rations than you thought. So you'll refill your rations. What is a ration again? Where's it at? Darn it. I should have had it up. How much is a ration in the player's handbook? Somebody look that up for me real quick.
Wasn't it 2 SP a day?
I think it is. Yeah.
I'll look.
2 silver pieces. So that would be 24 silver pieces total to refill your rations for everybody. They had no treasure on them, unfortunately. Foraging. Oh, you were able to sell your foraging, so you made the money from the foraging. What was it, 20 gold?
20 gold. I sell that to the Church of Helm.
Okay. They give you 20 gold for that, and you get to mark down 25 XP for Timor on the foraging roll. The other ones did not succeed, so no extra XP there. So then we're just at, we had 10 Norkers. So that is going to be, get my calculator out.
5 silver pieces a day.
Calculate.
Right, so it should be 20 silver pieces then for 4 days.
12 days.
Yeah, it's 12 days of rations to buy rations to refill. So if there are 5 silver a ration, then it's 5 times 12.
Right, 60.
So 60 silver. So not as well on treasure for you guys, but you did, all of you then get 200 XP points, which should allow you over the next few days to level, I believe, to 2nd level.
Woohoo!
Woo!
Yes.
During those days, Rula sends a message to the Darkling village to say that your group engaged one of the patrols, defeated it, and turned it back, but have not made any more progress thus far. She does kind of ask if you're going to go back. She wants to be able to tell the Darklings if you're going back or not, so that they know if you're going to be out there or to keep an eye out for you or not.
Albirix hastily says, yes, we will be back.
Okay.
Yes, we will.
They're
All
moving
right.
east. That puts this town in harm's way, so we must end them.
Okay.
We must end them because they deserve to be ended.
Perfect. So I think that wraps us up. So everybody can, if you want, are you going to take the average or are you going to roll your hit dice? We'll
Roll.
do that real quick.
May I use my inspiration for my hit die?
Sure.
I'm going to re-roll that to see if I can do any better.
Dude!
Better by 1.
I'll take it.
Oh, Dragar nailed it.
I'll keep that one.
Scrawl nailed it.
Woo!
God, you guys are killing me here.
Next week's your turn.
Sam, that's better than average. No, it's right at average. So even if you'd taken the average, that's what you would have gotten. What did Timor get?
Timer hasn't rolled. He's just nervous about it.
Oh boy. Come on, you randomed everything else. You random stats, random class.
All right, I'm going to
Let
use
the
my
dice
inspiration.
gods.
Not like you're attacking something. You're going to do fine.
Did I say hit dice? Little roll?
You'd roll 1 with your hit dice, and then you can use your inspiration if you want to roll a second
Yeah,
time.
just hit the word hit dice underneath your hit dice box there.
So you're 1 under what the average would be. Oh, but then he pulls off an 11.
I will take that 11, I think.
All right. Hit points have been rolled. Characters have moved to second level. When we come back in our adventure next week, next Monday, we will find out what a second level means for these characters. Some of them may have had to choose something. Some of them may get a new ability. Some of them might change in some way. So we shall see when we come back in our next episode. That was a tense fight. It was a interesting patrol. I thought when I set that up, it was meant to be tough, and you guys pulled out of it. It looked dire in the beginning, and then the rolls started going your way again, and then good healing potions and good heals and good rolls pulled you out. So that worked out really well. And in fact, I even had it written down that once they went down by 1/4 of their numbers, they would run. They would do a wisdom check to run. And you guys got it right at the end, got it down to 1/4 with the lightning strike. And that started the route. So that was pretty cool. So pretty fun. I got to use Norkers, which if anybody's in chat is wondering what those are from, go check it out in the Fiend Folio from the Advanced Dungeons & Dragons. I modified them to be in 5e. But I'm also taking it from a module that is an AD&D module that's been converted to 5e. So this module that you guys just ran into is written by Gary Gygax himself, and it's been converted to 5e. I found a place where they converted it online to 5e, so that's what that little thing is. And Gary Gygax writes some seriously tough modules, just so you know. These things are tough. But that was cool. All right, so that is our adventure for tonight. We had basically an ambush, a meeting of a patrol in our hero group. They come out victorious. They are tougher for the next time they go out, though not as rich. We'll have to see how that turns out. Keep an eye out. We're going to have another game on Thursday night with another expedition that is going out by a new expedition leader. Some of the players you see in that will be the same, but we also have some new players that are going to be debuting their first level character for the first time. So we're going to have another game on Thursday night, which is super cool. For the next couple weeks, I have a weird schedule. So keep an eye out on Twitter, which is @SirLucien Gaming, all one word, for any schedule changes, because with some personal things that I'm doing, it might interfere with a Monday game, or it might interfere with a Wednesday game or a Thursday game or one of my weeks. But we'll see when that all kind of ramps out. So keep an eye on Twitter to find out when those games are. Thanks to all my players for playing tonight. We had a fantastic time, and we will see you in the next one. Bye.
Good night, all.